28 Days Later was a surprising movie. I didn't think I'd like it. I never cared to watch it. I forced myself to because of 28 Years Later coming out. I forced myself. I said, just watch it. Even though it looks bad and you've got to pirate the movie, just do it. Just do it. Really surprised me. That first movie flows quick, great characters, makes sense. The look of the film was interesting. Everything about it. Very well done movie. So I watched 28 Weeks Later, hoping something. Just hoping to continue that visceral, straightforward experience and see what happens. Time skip, different characters. What will we get? I think the movie... Look, I was actually laughing whilst watching it because I thought it was dumb. I think it's a lame sequel. I think it's tired. I just thought it was dumb. It's probably the best word I can use to describe it. I didn't like it really at all. There are neat concepts to explore in this. What happens after 6 months? What happens? The zombies are dead. They're dead. They starve to death. That's interesting. You never actually explore that with zombies because it's something I always thought about, like The Walking Dead and that. How are there so many zombies after so long? They are still human, even though they're undead. The body survives on energy. If they're not getting energy, they're going to perish. So I like that idea. We got to repopulate Britain. Cool idea. It's fine for me. There are concepts in this movie I really like. Immunity to the rage virus. I like that. The problem is, it's all so surface level here. It's not explored, nothing. This movie, I realized I was about 45 minutes in and I didn't know what it was about. There was no thrust in the plot. Things were happening, but I felt no momentum. The pacing was just, it was killing me. I thought it was just a really lame movie. I think it started off pretty well. The father ditching his wife in the middle of an attack to save himself. I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I think as I said, the immunity thing is a neat idea. The fact that that wife survives in the start and comes back having been infected but not turning is cool. I do not think for a second though that the actual consequences of what happened at the start of this movie really come back at all. The father does eventually turn into a zombie, infected, but the reconciliation between him and his wife that he let die, it felt like nothing happened there. There was no payoff to that. There were no stakes to that. Sure, he ultimately dies for his actions, but it didn't feel satisfying. An empty London with the army occupying it is cool. Quarantine zones, repopulating Britain, neat ideas. But none of it feels like it's paying off anything. None of it feels like it's telling a story. It's more like a really boring documentary on what would happen in this situation. The stakes feel so non-existent. In the first movie, the stakes were strong and high because you like the characters. In this movie, the characters are all weak, so you just don't give a shit. And then people sacrifice themselves for others, and you're like, first of all, I don't know you really, the person that sacrificed themselves. I have not gotten a chance to know you, like I got to know Cillian Murphy in the first movie, or Brendan Gleeson and his daughter in the first movie, so I don't know you, I don't care. And the same goes for the person they're sacrificing themselves for. That person I don't know. So I just don't care. The bonds between characters are not successfully built, so the dynamics I don't care about. This movie is so lackluster and lame and dumb. There is nothing here for me. The acting is fine. So there's only so much actors can do with bad scripts. Jeremy Renner, I think, is always good. He does what he has to do here, but he's given nothing to do. Rose Byrne is a good actress, but again, she has nothing to do in this movie. The kids are fine. The kids are fine. The dad that starts the movie, I thought he's great. The wife plays her part well too, but there's nothing else. The script is a Bible. If that Bible sucks, well, the movie's gonna suck. I don't care how good your filmmaking is. You can't outrun a bad script. And let's talk about the script. I don't know what this movie's about. I said that earlier. It's lame. There's no payoffs to things. It just feels meandering. As I said before, almost an hour in, and I'm like, what are we doing? I knew what was happening in the first movie. It's so great. A man wakes up in a hospital, the world's ending. Where do we go from there? Fucking awesome. This movie, man ditches his wife to save himself. Could have been really cool, but then you go 6 months later. As soon as you do a time skip like that, momentum gone. Momentum gone. And then you try to pick up with that character after those 6 months. As I said, the energy's gone. The stakes are non-existent. Nothing is established. Why is the immunity of the wife so important? What's that going to do in the future of this world? It's not truly set up well enough, in my opinion. So the stakes to keep the children alive, they don't feel like they're there. Rose Byrne, who is a scientist, essentially tries to take care of these kids once a new outbreak starts, dies in the stupidest way I've ever seen. I should go back and just say, so whilst they're in this military complex and they find the wife, because she's infected, she could restart the plague, the virus, the rage virus, there could be a new outbreak. They're in a military compound and they let the father get so close to this wife, he kisses her. In a quarantine scientific research field, that's never gonna happen. Dumb. Then he turns and manages to kill military people. The outbreak starts. This whole military complex goes crazy. They decide, oh, we need to napalm London again because we need to kill the virus dead. That makes sense, but it should not have had an outbreak in the first place. These characters are dumb. The military is dumb, so how can I respect them or be invested? Rose Byrne takes it upon herself to save the kids, to save the immunity, to see why they're immune. Okay, that makes sense. But then she finds herself in a dark subway with infrared night vision scopes, and the kids trip down an escalator and she loses them. Even though she's got a clear light source and can see these kids in front of her. She loses them and then gets blindsided by a zombie and dies. That's her character. Goodbye. Jeremy Renner sacrifices himself to save the kids. Okay, 4 hours ago, you're just some dude in the military and now you're sacrificing yourself for these kids. Why? It's not set up well enough. The stakes of immunity in this world, especially if the zombies just starve after a few months anyway. So that's not there. The stakes aren't there. Then the dad in this movie, he's basically following our main characters. He's almost like the main villain. He bites his little boy at the end, but he's immune, and we knew that was going to be the case, and there's just no payoff to anything. So the son, he's bit, he's infected, but they managed to get back to the military and save, and then the movie ends with a shot of zombies in France, and that's it. Now I get it, you could just make a straightforward zombie horror movie, but when you are a sequel, you have a responsibility to continue the story, especially when you set it up in such a way like this does. 6 months later, what's happening? Actually give me a compelling story and don't just tell me a one-off story in this setting. Once you establish the bigger world, the bigger stakes, what's actually happening, you gotta use that in your story. You can't just have it as a backdrop for me. It doesn't work. That's why I think 28 years later will be great. They're going to use the fact that it's been 3 decades to tell a story about that. It's not going to be about some random characters in this world 28 years later. It will be about these characters dealing with a world after 28 years. Does that make sense? This movie doesn't deal with the fact that it's been 28 weeks. It just feels like it was set there because what comes after days? Weeks, and that was the obvious title. I think it's a weak movie. I think it's a lame movie. The one thing I'll say that really frustrated me more than anything was the score. The score on this movie frustrated me. Remember in the first movie, when Cillian Murphy is cleaning house at the end, he's taking out all the military dudes, and that song plays. A great John Murphy track. Brilliant. It's the only time in the movie that song plays. In this movie, it happens at the start, it happens in the middle of the movie, and at the end. 3 times. That song is like epic. You gotta build to it, lead to it. You have to earn that song. You can't just throw it in every time something of interest happens on screen. Then it's overused and loses its effectiveness. So that frustrated me. This movie doesn't have anything for me. The filmmaking is uninspired to me. The score is not good. The acting is fine, but the writing lets the actors down. You've got good actors here. They got nothing to do. 28 Weeks Later is a lame sequel. I didn't enjoy my time watching it. I thought it was dumb. I laughed at it quite often. I'll never rewatch it again. It is a total disappointment, and it's shocking to me that they managed to get a sequel after all these years ready to go. 28 years later, I'm very much looking forward to. That is one of the best trailers of recent times. Every time I go to the movies and that plays, it's cool. Everyone in the cinema shuts up and it's like, that is a trailer. And I'm looking very forward to that. So far, the 28 franchise, one good, one bad. Please, 28 years, be good. That's all I've got to say. What do you think of this movie? Drop it below. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.